Hello, my loves. Tony here from TL Yarn Crafts with a technique that might look a little scary, but I promise it is totally doable. This is Tunisian crochet in the round. Now, trust me, I used to stare at this weird double-ended hook like it was from another planet, but now I am totally obsessed. Are you ready to conquer this together? Smash that like button and join our crafty family for weekly inspo that'll make you fall even deeper in love with crochet. This video is one of many helpful tutorials to accompany the Tunisian Snowy Sampler, a gorgeous 20-block Afghan that teaches new Tunisian crochet stitches and techniques with every square. To get the row-by-row instructions for this square and find out how to make the entire sampler blanket, visit the link in the description. Before we can jump into working Tunisian crochet in the round, we have to talk about our hooks because you've got a few different options when it comes to choosing the perfect Tunisian crochet hook for this project. Our first option is a double-ended hook. So this means that the body of the hook is the same size all the way through and you've got a hook on both ends. This is great for this project because we're going to be working on 4 straight edges and this will be the best tool to help you do that without a whole lot of extra fiddling around. If you can't find a double-ended hook, you can go with a fixed corded hook that has 2 6.5mm crochet hooks on either side. I found this set on Amazon. They work pretty well. The only thing is for this project, which is relatively small, this cord is very long. So while it'll definitely work, the hook is just going to be flopping around a little bit. Your last option is to work with interchangeable corded hooks like this set that I got from Denise. So how you'd use this is we'll open it up this way and then you've got hooks of all your different sizes. So we're using a 6.5mm set. So then we can grab these right here. We can grab a cord and attach one to either side. Just like that. So now we have a double-ended hook that we can use for Tunisian crochet in the round. Now let's say, for example, that you only have one of each hook in your set, which is how most interchangeable Tunisian crochet hook sets come. So if you only have one, you can put the 6.5mm on one side, and then you can grab your 6mm and put that on the other side. Just like that. So then we'll use the larger hook, the 6.5mm for the forward pass, and the smaller hook, the 6mm for the return pass. Now, regardless of which Tunisian crochet hook you use, you'll also want a 6.5mm hook to start the center of our square. Now let's jump in. We're going to start with our forward pass color. For me, it's going to be this nice purple, and we're going to make a magic ring. So I like to grab the tail of my yarn, lay it over the palm of my hand, and then take the working yarn, the yarn that's coming from the ball, and bring it around my finger 2 times. I'm going to take this loop on the left and put it over the right, and then I'll take that remaining loop and bring it over the tip of my finger, just like that. And now when I pull these 2 tails, it'll close up the knot, and when I pull the short end, we've got an adjustable ring. Now I'm going to flip that adjustable ring just like this. And I'm going to grab my 6.5mm crochet hook here with this worsted weight yarn. Insert into the loop, yarn over and pull up a loop to begin the magic ring. I'm going to chain 1 and I'm going to put 8 single crochet into the magic ring. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and here's 8. From there, I can lift that loop up. I'm going to grab my tail, pull it through, and then holding this knot here, I'm going to pull, pull, pull until it closes up my ring. Just like that. Now I'm going to continue from here to work in a spiral, and I'm going to put 2 single crochets into each single crochet here. So we started off with 8, so I'll have 16 at the end. To make sure I go into the right stitch, I'm going to count backwards from here. So this is the stitch I'm coming out of. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 is here. So I'm going to go under both loops of this stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through both. There's 1. Going back into that same stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. So there's 2, 2 in this stitch, 1 and 2. That's my second stitch. Here's my third, 2 singles in there. Here's the fourth, which also gets 2 singles. Fifth, 2 singles. Sixth, gets 2 singles. 7, 2 singles, and 8, 2 singles. Let's make sure we got it right with a quick count. So starting from here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16 is right here. So I'm just gonna pull that closed and I'm gonna slip stitch into this next stitch right here. And now I'm going to change hooks and I'm going to move to my double-ended hook next. I decided to go with my interchangeable set and it's got a 6.5mm hook on either side. So at this point we've made our slip stitch and the next step is to yarn over and then pull up a loop in the same place that we made our slip stitch. So right in this same space, going to dip down and pull up a nice tall loop. So I've got 3 loops on my hook at this point. Moving on to the next bullet, we're gonna pull up a loop in each of the next 3 stitches. So here's 1, 2, 3. Next, we're going into the next space and we're going to pull up a loop, followed by a yarn over, pull up a loop in the same space. So this same space right here, we're dipping down into that same space. And now we're going to pull up a loop in each of the next 3 stitches. So here's 1, 2, and 3. And at this point, we need to turn our work to begin the return pass. So now I'm going to shift these loops down to the opposite hook on the other end and then rotate. So now I'm looking at the wrong side of my work. And at this point, I need to grab a strand of my return pass color. So for my return pass, I'm going to put that on the hook and I'm going to pull through 1 loop to start, just 1. Just like that. And now I need to pull through 2 loops until there are 3 loops of my forward pass color and 1 loop of my return pass color. So here we go. Yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Yarn over, pull through 2. So here's 1, here's 2. Yarn over, pull through 2, and 2, and 2, and 2. Take your time. 2, and 2 again. And now I have 3 loops of my forward pass color, 1 loop of my return pass color. And now I'm going to turn to work my forward pass. So I'm going to drop the pink, pull the loops through to the other side and rotate just like that. So now I'm back to working with my forward pass color. Let's continue from here. So for our next step, we need to pull up a loop in the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop in that same stitch, and then follow that by pulling up a loop in each of the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. Next stitch is getting a loop pulled, yarn over, and another loop pulled. And then we're going to pull up a loop in each of the next 3 stitches. So here's 1, here's 2, and 3. And from here, we're going to turn to do the return pass. So again, pulling the loops all the way through. This is what we do every time we do a return pass, and rotate our work. We've got our return pass color here. So we're just going to yarn over, and from here on out, we're going to yarn over, pull through 2, and 2, and 2. So we're just yarning over and pulling through 2 from here. Yarn over through 2, don't lose it, and through 2, and 2. And there we go. So we've got 3 loops of our forward pass color, 1 loop of our return pass color. And that completes our first round. Now we're going to start round 2 of our square. So we need to simple the next stitch, which is right here. It's this tall strand, which is right here, directly to the left of where your hook is. So we're just inserting under the front vertical bar there, yarn over, and pull up a loop to complete that simple stitch. And now for the next stitch, we need to do an increase. Now an increase is a knit 1, yarn over, knit 1 in the same stitch. Now that stitch is right here. This is a yarn over from the previous row. So to do our knit stitch, we need to find the front bar and the back bar of that stitch, and we're going to dip down into that stitch here on the forward pass. So we're going to split the 2 bars of that next stitch right here, dip down, yarn over, pull up a nice tall loop, follow that by a yarn over, and knit 1 again. And at this point, we want to mark that yarn over so we don't lose it, because this is going to be one of our corners. So with the locking stitch marker here, I'm just slipping it right around the yarn over in the middle of that increase. We're going to simple to the next yarn over, and then we're going to do our return passes as necessary, so as things start to tighten up. This is the stitch we just did our increase in, so our next stitch is right here. And we're just going to simple each stitch until we get to our next yarn over. Good idea is to find your yarn over. Mine is over here, right here. So we're going to simple until we get to that yarn over. So we've got a simple here, and now we're at that yarn over, which is right here. So we're going to knit one, yarn over, knit that same stitch, just like that. It's a little fiddly at the beginning, but once we get a few more stitches on here, it's easier to see. Now I'm gonna do a bit of my return pass because it's getting a little tight. So rotate, or slide them down, rotate, grab that return pass color, and then we can yarn over, pull through 2 and 2. Where do you want to be? Over here? Yeah, and 2 and 2. Again, until we have 3 loops of our forward pass color still on the hook. One more. There we go. Slide and rotate. Now with the forward pass, we just did our increase. So I'm going to make sure I grab one of my markers and mark that increase there in the middle. Just like that. Now we'll continue that across. Simple to your next yarn over. Very good. We've got one more here. And here's our yarn over. We can kind of tell because it's really, really short and it's sitting towards the back of the work. All of these other stitches are really prominent and sitting up to the front. Those yarn overs tend to fall a bit to the back. So it's right there. So remember, we're finding the front and back bar. So I'm just gonna pull it forward so we can see it a little bit better. We've got a front bar and a back bar, right? So we're gonna go between those bars, yarn over, pull up a loop, nice tall loop on that knit stitch, followed by a yarn over, and knit again. Mark the yarn over. So this is the stitch we just worked. We're gonna go to the next one. There we go. And another yarn over right here. Little tricky to see them on this first round, but they'll be marked from here on out. We've got the yarn over right there. So we're going to knit the yarn over, and knit that same stitch. And mark the yarn over. We also want to have a different colored stitch marker for the beginning. So I'm going to switch out this second marker here for a purple one. So we know that the green is the beginning of our row, or the beginning of our round. Just like that. Let's do a little bit of return pass. Okay, return pass complete. Let's turn again and finish up this round. So again, we're just going to simple until we get to our next yarn over. Okay, so this would be the end of my round. So we've got a stitch before the corner, and that's where our rounds end. So we're gonna do one more round together, but essentially it's the same pattern for the remainder of our square. So we're just going to simple until we get to a marked yarn over. And here we can knit the yarn over. I'm just gonna leave the marker in here for now, yarn over, and knit the marker. Just like that. And then we'll simple across to the next marker. All right, next marker is here. Find the actual yarn over. So I marked the front of it, which means that the back bar of it is just sitting slightly behind. And we're going to knit one, yarn over, and knit that same marked stitch. And then we can continue. Simple the next stitch, simple the next stitch. Getting a little full here. So I'm gonna shift and rotate and return pass. So we've now made it another round, and as you can see, we've got a little bit of regular crochet here in the middle, but we've got this lovely Tunisian in the round going on for the rest of the square. So the forward pass, which is this purple, is going to give you your vertical bars here, and the return pass, which is worked in pink, is going to give you your horizontal bars in between. So continue to work this to the size you want, and then come back here when you're ready to do your bind off. I continued making my square, love the size, and I'm actually ready to be done. So you'll want to continue your forward pass until you are 1 stitch before the yarn over at the beginning of the row. So now I need to do my return pass until I only have 1 loop of each color left. So I'm going to rotate because I have 3 of my forward pass color. So I need to do a few more yarn overs and pull through 2s. 2 and 2. So now I have 1 of each color on my hook. I'm going to shift and rotate again, and now I'm back on the forward pass. At this point, with the right side facing, I'm going to slip my forward pass loop through my return pass loop, just like this. And now we only have 1 loop on the hook. I am going to change to my regular crochet hook. It's just easier for me to do my bind off like this. But if you want to stick with this hook, that is totally fine. You do not have to do this step. Now I'm just going to take my return pass yarn and just put it to the back of my work. So I'm going to slip each of my simple stitches, and my yarn over I'm going to slip but as for knit stitch. So here we go. Insert in my next stitch as for simple stitch, yarn over, pull through both of these loops. And make sure you keep your tension soft and light here so we don't get any bunching here at the top. So now I'm at a yarn over. I'm going to insert my hook into that yarn over as for knit stitch. So between the 2 bars of that stitch, yarn over, I'm going to pull through the stitch and through the remaining loop on the hook. So now I have simple stitches all the way to my next corner. So let's do those together. Insert into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through both loops. Insert, yarn over, pull through both. And we're going to do that all the way over to the next yarn over. One more before the corner, and now I've reached my corner yarn over right here. I'm going to insert into that yarn over as for knit, so splitting the bars of the yarn over, pull through the stitch, through the loop that's on my hook. So we're going to repeat this all the way around. Join me when you get back to kind of where we started, right here, just before that. I'm making my way to the beginning of the round, just a few more slip stitches to go. And just keep in mind that this stitch right here is not slipped, so we're just going to continue all the way across. And we're going to slip this stitch to end. Okay, now we're at the first slip stitch of the round, which is right here. We're going to insert into that stitch, just the top 2 loops, like that, yarn over and pull through for a loose slip stitch. And then we're going to slip the next stitch as well. This is an optional step, but I just really like the comfort and the security of having slipped into the corner. At this point, we can fasten off. So I'm going to fasten off my forward pass yarn, leaving a nice long tail, pull that up and out of the work. Then we can turn to the back and fasten off our return pass yarn, leaving just enough tail to weave in that end later. And would you look at that? A beautiful Tunisian crochet in the round square. I think this is so gorgeous, and there's lots of applications for this. If you really want to jazz it up, I would use a solid color for the forward pass and something either variegated, tonal, self-striping, something for the return pass to really let all of the glory of this type of stitch shine through. I hope you enjoyed making this, and I can't wait to see how yours turns out.